Welcome to MMA Fancast. Welcome back to everyone who is already a subscriber to the channel. My name's Luke Payson. If you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe so you can see more great interviews, including the one coming at you right now, a professional MMA champion from Brawlers Ball, the 125-pound flyweight champion of the world, Mad Cat Cody Matthews. Champ, welcome to the show.
Hey, Luke, thanks for having me back.
It's just good to have you back on the show. You've got that beautiful shiny belt over your shoulder. It is great to have you. I not only want to say a big congratulations to you, we're going to break down each round and talk about how the fight went, but also gratitude to you. You came on, I think, like 2 days before your weigh-in, something like that. So we got in under the wire, and I really appreciate you. You had a lot going on in fight week. And then you even weighed in slightly under the championship weight of 125. You're like 149. I don't know. You were under
Yeah,
one. I'm
that
sorry.
was
I got the
20,
weights wrong.
28.
You were under 125. Yeah. Got the weights wrong. Sorry about
Yeah,
that.
that
You
was
were
my
just under.
championship weight.
Yeah. You were just under the weight of 125. Flyweight is 25. My brain got stuck on the other weight. Okay. So talk about it. First off, how was Brawlers Ball MMA as a promotion? And then let's talk about the fight.
Yeah, so Brawlers Ball is only their second show. It's the first big one they've really put on, from what I understand. It was at the Rivers Casino right outside of Virginia Beach and Portsmouth. It was a great promotion. It was sold out. Crowd was huge. I was the last fight of the night, so I thought everyone's going to kind of leave as the fights go on because it's a pretty big fight card. It's been going a long time. I walked out and there was a crowd. There was a big crowd. So I was very happy to see that because it was a late show and people stuck around because it was good fights going on. They were providing good stuff to the people. So and I'll just even hold up this
Yeah.
belt here. I mean, this is pretty quality here. They did not make these belts cheap. I think so I won one and so did my teammate Johnny. He won the AMI 125 title. I think we weighed his belt and it was 13 pounds. Yeah, they are quality. So it was a great promotion to fight for. The promoters treated me very well, gave me the opportunity to step up into the main event and fight for the title. So very grateful for that to them.
Well, let's talk about that. How far out before your fight did you realize you were going to get bumped up from co-main to main event? I know the main event had fallen through. And what was that like mentally? Was there any extra pressure being the main event and, of course, a title fight?
Uh, Not on my end, no. From things out of everyone's control on both party sides, the main event had to fall through, which I was very disappointed of because I wanted to see that was going to be a great fight. We said it was absolutely nobody's fault. It was out of people's control. They approached me and my opponent said, "Do you guys want to fight for the title and take the main event?" Absolutely. More than happy to. So. I was thankful that originally I was the co-main and that they thought that, we could fill the shoes of the main event. So we did our very best to go out there and put on a show and, fill that spot. The fans seemed to like it. So I was very happy for that.
That is great. It shows a great mindset both to you and your opponent, be able to step up, and also some of the wildness of MMA shows behind the scene. That's not the first time I've heard things fall through, fights have to slide up or back or whatever it is. So great job on that. Take us through the first round of the fight. What was that like for you? What do you remember?
I did go back and get to watch it once or twice right afterwards. And then me and my coach will probably go and review it again. But from what I remember, I came out, found my range. It wasn't a huge cage, just enough to kind of move around in. Found my jab. I know he had a big overhand, so I was very cautious of that the entire fight. You never know when he's going to unleash that. So I was able to start off with landing some kind of jabs, found my calf kick, and was able to tear the calf up a little bit, land some good leg kicks. And then we ended up in a clinch, and we were both strong wrestlers. We were moving each other around, and I was able to start opening his arms up and landing some good liver shots. So I started really digging my knee to the liver, got him up in the cage, started landing up in the liver some more, and I could tell it was really hurting him. So we got a little bit of a stalemate. broke off with an elbow, came back in, hit the body some more with the hand, started finding the left hook to the liver. Really finding my flow, my rhythm, putting combos together nicely, finding a good pace, making sure not to exhaust myself. Went in for a nice right hand. He caught a nice blast through double on me. He's a very powerful guy. Blew through on me. As soon as that happened, I grabbed the hand, locked up a triangle choke on him. It was my non-dominant leg that I'm not used to. Could just barely get it. If I could have found, had maybe an extra 3 inches of legs, I could have got it on him. But he did a good job posturing up. He's very broad. He's a built guy for anybody that saw him. They call him Baby Hulk for a reason. He's a very strong guy. So I couldn't quite get it locked up around his shoulders. There was a minute left. I knew I was winning the round. I was still in a dominant position, even though I was on my back. After about 30 seconds of not being able to finish it, started landing some elbows to the top of his head, making sure I'm doing damage in that position if I can't finish that choke. Second round comes out, pretty similar, finding my range. He's a little bit more aggressive now. Get him up against the cage. Again, I'm landing a bunch of knees to the body. He had me on the cage. Same thing. When my back's on the cage, I'm doing all the damage. Started finding my range again. He was able to land another takedown on me with about 2.5 minutes left in the round. That's not where you want to be with 2.5 minutes left in a round. So with about, 40 seconds left, I was able to get out, reverse the position, land a few shots. He stands up on me. I double leg him back down against the cage. I posture up and start landing punches. He comes in on me, shoots on me, and I start hitting some up punches in between the arms. I'm catching him on the chin, really doing some damage there. So closer round, but I definitely did a lot of damage. The 2 minutes he had me down, there was almost no damage done. He was able to do a few little pitter patter punches, and I was doing the same to him from bottom. So nothing serious there. I was winning the exchange on the feet, was winning the exchanges, kind of 50-50 on the bottom, but obviously he's in control. Then I reversed him, did some little damage, takedown, did a good bit of damage after that. So I'm up 2 rounds. I know he kind of has to go for it all here. But I still need to be smart and try to win this round. He comes out, much more aggressively. We're going back and forth on the feet. Let's try to think how this one ends up. We go against the cage. He hits a nice double leg on me. I somehow end up where I reverse and go underneath of him, where he's standing over top of me, but we're in a 50-50 position where I almost have a guard locked up, but reversed, where he's facing away from me and my legs are wrapped around, instead of my ankles being at like his back, they're at his stomach, kind of like I have him locked up behind me and I have his legs. And what I start doing is I'm in a position where we can't really move for about 30 seconds. I just start drilling my elbow into his thighs, into his calf, into his glute, and I'm just really tearing his legs up in there. At first I was hitting his thighs, and I'm like, well, I was kicking his calf throughout this fight. So I'm gonna start elbowing him in the calf. And I want to do as much damage as I can here. Like, it's a close round still. Like, I'll sit here in a position and elbow him for 2 minutes. I don't care. He ended up coming down with a 12-6 elbow, kind of like in my, a little bit near the groin, and they stopped the fight. It was kind of a bit of an illegal blow there. I don't think it was intentional necessarily. I think that's just the position he was in. He was trying to do damage there because I was hitting him. So they stood him up, gave him a warning. We went back on. I think I hit him a little bit on the feet, and he was able to land another takedown right along the cage. And again, he had to go for it all there. So he postures up to try to come down on me, and I up kick him in the face twice. And that's where the round ends. So judges scored it 30. 2 judges scored at 30-27, giving me all 3 rounds. 1 judge scored at 29-28, so gave me 2 rounds and gave Wilson the other round. So very good fight. I felt good afterwards, but there was a few errors I definitely felt in there. Some stuff we need to touch up on, but I've had over a year layoff. I'd like to think I could just go in there on a whim at any time, but it's not how it is. You have to be active in this game. Things out of my control kind of kept me out of the cage, but we're back in there. We got to win. We were fortunate to be given a title shot opportunity and get a title, and now we'll hopefully we don't have that cage rust anymore. We're gonna just keep on keeping on from here.
Well, I appreciate the breakdown, champ. If that's you with cage rust, then everybody should at flyweight should be on notice. It's impressive. You're still a young guy. You're under 30. I think that was your 10th pro MMA fight, if I remember right. I think it was.
Eighth. That was on my
Eighth.
eighth. Yep.
Okay. Eighth pro MMA fight, but still a pretty good amount of experience. If you can stay active and stay busy this year and get a typical, 2 or 3 more in the year, it'll really make a big difference. For you, it's only been a few days, which is why I'm really glad that you came on. It's only been 2 days since you won. Where do you think this puts you emotionally? Obviously, you talked about being on a 1-year layoff that you didn't really want to be on, so I'm sure this feels great. You came in right into a big title fight, main event. I've witnessed you have an incredible knockout win. Where do you think this puts you going forward?
It's good to be back in the win column. That's only the third time I've seen the judges' scorecard in my entire MMA career. I always want to get back in there, sharpen things up, go back to finishing things, go back to having, exciting fights, whether it's a submission or a knockout. I want to make sure I'm showing dominance in there. Even the fact that, I was being able to get taken down some, I don't like that. I hate being taken down. The fact that, one of the scorecards is 29-28, I lost one of those rounds according to the judges. I don't like that. So I have things I want to work on. There was a lot of things that went well in that fight, but there was some adversity as well that we had to come back from. There's a lot of adversity in this fight camp that we had to fight through. So, like I said afterwards in the speech, life's all about adversity and you just have to overcome it. Now, I think that's, we're able to do that this camp. We're able to do that with this fight. Now, from here on out, I think we're going to have a little bit smoother waters. So I want to get back in there 2 more times before the end of the year. We were already talking, me and my coach, to the management team and seeing what we're going to look at. So we'll see when we're going to get back in, probably late August or around September, and then maybe again around November area. So, and I want to be active. For as much as I've been training, I haven't got to be as active as I'd like.
Well, I can't wait to see kind of what happens for you going forward. For you, champ, since this is really just a couple days removed, you got the beautiful belt over your shoulder. What is the moment that stands out to you the most? You mentioned the post-fight interview. Was it what you said there? Was it getting the belt put on? Was it always that little bit of that tension between the fight ending and waiting for the card to be read? What moment do you think stood out the most to you? And then obviously a big congratulations on the win.
I think 2 things. Yeah, one, whenever I sat down in the corner after the 3rd round, my coach goes, "That was great. You're doing great. We're up 2 rounds." I go, "Okay, we're up 2 rounds. I need to win this round, but I just can't get finished. And we're probably pretty good. But, like I said, I like to be dominant. Want to win this round." Then afterwards, whenever we were done, I could tell that I'd won this fight. And the judges' scorecards did take a very long time to come back. And I'm standing there, and the referee says, "It's taking a while." I said, "This is taking a while. I don't like that." Just getting to go the full 15 minutes for me, so that's something I don't get a lot. I had 6 AMI fights. I've had 8 pro fights. I've only seen the scorecards 3 times. So that was something that I did like. It gave me 15 minutes of full experience in there after a year layoff. So I think really just the end of that fight, knowing, hey, I got to go that full 15 minutes. We got through this. We won this fight. It was a proud moment. It was a lot of hard work for me and my coaches.
Wow. Well, big congratulations to you and your coaches, everybody at Bowerhouse MMA. They have 2 champions on the same night, a pro and an amateur. Just an incredible night to you. Thanks so much for coming on the show, champ. Really, really excited. Brawlers Ball World Pro MMA champ at the 125-pound flyweight. Luke Basin MMA Fancast with the champion, Mad Cat, Cody Matthews. Thanks so much for coming on, champ.
Thank you, Luke. Appreciate it.
You got it, brother.